Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a review for Death Must Die's Act 2. Let's get right into it. We're going to break down this review into two main sections. First, we'll talk about all the new content they've added into the game with this update. Second, we'll go into the changes from the systems to the gameplay. At the end, I'll give an overall recommendation to let you know if this update is worth your time. The big ticket additions here are a new map to play through featuring new enemies, bosses and events, and a new character to play, the Ranger, and a new goddess, Nin. The new map is great here. It looks visually distinct from Act 1 and features a ton of new enemies and unique bosses for you to overcome. I think the developers have stepped it up here a notch in terms of enemy encounters and mechanics. You really need to learn their attack patterns and weaknesses to overcome some of the later waves, especially as you move up the difficulty levels. The Ranger is the new playable character class and uses a bow as his main weapon. This does make him feel distinct from most of the other characters, as there is only one other ranged character in the game at the moment. The Ranger is fun, and has his own skill tree for you to unlock. We'll get back to the skill trees in a moment though. The new goddess here is one of the highlights of Act 2. Nin is awesome and has a lot of powerful blessings for you to acquire on your runs. Special mention goes out to Rock Hands, where you summon two big rock fists and mercilessly pummel your enemies at close range. As well as the dash, where you leave behind a rock wall that can block enemy projectiles as well as force enemies to move around them, giving you more control of the battlefield. There is more new stuff in Act 2. Existing gods have new blessings, new loot pieces, new affixes, as well as new tier 2 mythic items for you to chase. Now let's talk about some of the features and system changes that have improved the overall experience here in Act 2. Firstly, let's talk about the talent trees. Prior to this update, you would pick a character, then pick a class that had a set stat package. This has now been removed in place of full talent trees. This is an awesome change as it allows you even more customization over your build. Each character has their own tree with several different paths you can take, allowing you to mix and match between different nodes to create your own unique build. This, coupled with the randomly rolled gear, creates a nice balance between RNG and set perk nodes within the talent tree to create your ultimate character build. Second here, the stats and blessing categories have been overhauled. There are now 6 main blessing types, and your different stats can affect these. This change allows you to specialize much better into attack-based builds, whereas previously they just weren't as many stat categories that helped out with these builds. The devs did a good job of explaining some of these changes in their weekly dev blog post, which we've covered on the channel, so check that out if you're interested in more details for that. This change has made it easier to understand which blessing land in each category and how stats will affect your overall character build. A positive change all round. The other notable change here is the removal of the attack movement penalty. This is just a good change straight up. The base character movement speed in this game is slow enough that having an additional movement penalty didn't really feel that good. So it's just now fixed. Awesome. There are some other smaller changes with gear affixes and some quality of life improvements, such as gear no longer being locked to a single character and more vault space being available. All of this really culminates into a fantastic update and now pushes Death Must Die towards the greats of the genre. The new map is a lot of fun and it's challenging, the new enemies are interesting to engage with, the new character is a solid addition, and the new god is really fun to play. And you add on top of this all the quality of life changes and improvements, you have yourself a fantastic free update. It's worth noting that Death Must Die is still technically in early access, and thus is still being updated and improved over time, so expect more content in the future as the game moves towards a 1.0 release. Until then, for less than $10 US, I do recommend checking out Death Must Die Act 2. And that's the review. Thanks for checking out the video. If you found it useful, please consider hitting like and subscribe to help the channel grow. And with that, have a fantastic day.